Welcome to this studio recorder video from the American Printing House for the Blind. I'm your host, Rob Meredith, a software developer here at APH. Today, we'll show you how to use dynamic compression to make your recording sound louder when you find that normalizing just isn't enough. I have here a fictitious short book. Let's listen. Our short book, Spring 2025. This is an example book of content that is a little uneven, a little soft in some places, and maybe just a little loud in other places. But it's a short book all the same. We hope you enjoyed our short book. So we can hear that it's a little low, and we can see from the peak meter
-4.3,
that it peaks at -4.3 dB. We could normalize this file and add 4.3 dB to the level, or we could try using dynamic compression to make it even louder. Dynamic compression will also help level out some of the loud parts against the soft parts of the book. To use dynamic compression with the normalize command, you first have to decide on an appropriate RMS level for your content. The RMS level for spoken word content should usually be between -23 dB and -18 dB. You can check your RMS level by using the measurements command in Studio Recorder, accessed from the Tools menu, or by pressing Ctrl-U.
Measurements dash short book dash copy dialog -p:7.20 dB.
In here, we see various statistics about our file,
JAWS to P -p:7.
with the most important one being the RMS level at the bottom.
Positive average RMS level OK, but RMS level -27.68 dB.
We can see that it's currently -27.68 dB.
PC. Our short
We could make this book quite a bit louder if we get the RMS level to be -20 dB. Let's try that. We press Alt-P, N for the normalize command.
process menu inserts leaving menus -20.000 20 normalize edit to -20.
We set the level to -20.
Use dynamic compression if signal clips checkbox checked.
We check the dynamic compression checkbox,
Compression ramp time left parent MS right parent colon left right slider 3%.
and then we set the ramp time, which is both the attack and release time.
Normalize edit 20.
We'll try 20 milliseconds for this example.
Reference RMS level radio button checked 2 of 2.
We be sure that the reference is set to RMS rather than peak, and we press enter.
Our short book dash copy left parent busy right parent.
Now let's listen. Our short book, Spring 2025. This is an example book of content that is a little uneven, a little soft in some places, and maybe just a little loud in other places. But it's a short book all the same. So we can see that it's quite a bit louder. If we wanted to compare the old versus the new, we could use undo and play the beginning of the book, and then redo and play the same portion of the book to see how it sounds. To do this, we press Ctrl-Z for undo. Our short book, Spring 2025. Then Ctrl-Y for redo. Our short book, Spring 2025. So we can hear that it's quite a bit louder now. You'll want to experiment with both the level and the compression ramp time for your own projects. You can also use the dynamic compression feature with the change volume command. You wouldn't normally do this, since you wouldn't normally change a file by an absolute value and use dynamic compression. But this might come in handy if, for example, you work with content that is consistently low. For example, you might have content that came from a phone or a handheld recorder, and you know that that recorder is always quiet by like 15 or 20 dB. This way, you could bring up the level and avoid clipping using the dynamic compression feature. Let's try it with this book. We press Alt-P, V for change volume,
Process menu leaving menus -10.000.
and we'll change the level by 10 dB. So we put 10 in the field to make it 10 dB louder.
Use dynamic compression if signal clips checkbox checked.
We check the dynamic compression checkbox,
Compression ramp time left parent change volume edit 20.
and we'll put 20 in the ramp time as well for this example.
Our short book dash copy.
Now let's listen. Our short book, Spring 2025. This is an example book of content that is a little uneven, a little soft in some places, and maybe just a little loud in other places. Now we can tell, as we pass through and maybe a little bit loud in other places, we can hear the compression just a little bit, and maybe just a little loud in other places. So this may be a bit of an aggressive setting for this particular document. The trick to using dynamic compression correctly is that no one should be able to tell that you actually used it. So if it sounds obvious, you'll probably want to back off on the level or play with the ramp time to get a better sound. Let's use the measurements command to see where our RMS level is now. We press Ctrl U.
Measurements dash R shortcut dash JAWS RMS level minus 18.19 dB DC.
We can see that it's at negative 18.19 dB.
R shortcut.
Not bad. To hear what obvious use of too much dynamic compression sounds like, we could use 20 dB to increase the volume level instead of just 10 as we did in the previous example.
Process menu. Leaving menus. R shortcut dash change volume edit.
So I'll type 20 and I'll press enter to use the same parameters that we used before except for the 20 dB level.
R shortcut dash copy.
Let's listen. Our short book, Spring 2025. In this case, the compression is very obvious, and we can see from measurements now
JAWS RMS level minus 13.38 dB DC.
that our level is negative 13.38 dB, which is way too loud.
R shortcut dash copy star.
This has been a studio recorder video from the American Printing House for the Blind.